So, network orchestration is all about opening up the control layer in our networks and making sure that this can be programmed through our management systems, and also building it into our operations environment, so that we can take advantage of the flexibility as we go into digital economy initiatives. So, right now the current networks are managed by network management systems, and these are one network management system per network for area. So, what we need to do is we need to build the orchestration layer into this network management space, which is the enforcement and control layer, so that it becomes a master controller for managing all the network components below. So, what is key to note about this orchestration capability is that it is a fundamentally different system from the existing network management systems, as well as upstream service assurance and fulfillment systems, because this is a stateful system, and it needs to keep a control on the whole network. So, as we start building this orchestration capability, there are 3 points to note. The first one is that, as I mentioned before, this is a fundamentally different system. So, we need to be able to create new platforms and using new software technologies, so that we can harness the dynamic nature of these networks, because what we are doing is we are building this orchestration into our overall operations environment, so that the provisioning, activation and assurance systems can dynamically access the network through this orchestration system. So, Analysis Mason has done a lot of research in all software areas, including assurance, fulfillment and orchestration. And what we have noted is that the orchestration system needs to be a central point, which is linking all these systems together to the network. So, there are a few points to note, and the first one is that these networks are not going to become hybrid all at the same time. So, there will be hybrid networks in place for a long time. And what we need to therefore do is build this orchestration capability, so that they can coexist with the network management systems. So, these orchestrators may grow out of the network management systems, or they may be new platforms, but they need to be linked into the overall management scenario, into the operations process, and they need to be able to manage hybrid networks. And the other point to note is that these are multi-vendor networks in the future, and there are interface reference points that have been exposed that vendors can take advantage of, and also platform initiatives that are available to develop, that vendors can take note of when they develop these platforms. But essentially they need to be able to manage hybrid networks, and they need to be open enough to manage multi-vendor scenarios. And we see a lot of developments happening in this space in the next 5 to 10 years. And we forecast that there is about US dollars 500 million in terms of revenues in the orchestration space. So when I say orchestration, it means network orchestrators, VNF managers, VIM, and also SDN controllers for the transport SDN. So we see that in the next 5 years there are about US dollar 500 million in terms of revenues, and much more in the future. And last but not least, there is also the professional services area that we need to look into, because these are not going to be plug and play networks initially. So there is a lot of professional services that we need to take advantage of in terms of to ensure coexistence, integration and transformation of these networks in the future.